Hi, folks. James Hansen here, Libertarian nominee for U.S. Senate. Down here in Monument Valley, you can see the monuments there in the background. It's a pretty good view off your back porch. But I wanted to give you guys a quick tour of Vote.Utah.Gov. Okay, so Vote.Utah.Gov, you see that right up here at the top of my screen. That is a website run by the state of Utah, and it's got tons of great information for you. How can I vote? Track my mail or provisional ballot, learn about candidates and issues, find my voter registration information, register to vote or update my registration, update ballot mailing address. Okay, so let's start with the How Can I Vote tab. So I come in here and it's spinning. You're going to enter your address. So I've got my address in here, street address, city, zip code. And you'll have three tabs across here at the top. So how vote by mail. So, it talks about receiving your ballot. It needs to be postmarked on or before November 7th. So you've got to return a mail-in ballot by Monday. It needs to be postmarked on Monday, the day before Election Day on the 8th. Or you can drop it off by 8 p.m. on Election Day or a drop box location in your county. So if you're living in San Juan County, here are all the drop box locations that you could use on voting day. So let's say I received my mail-in ballot. I never filled it out and put it back in the mailbox. It's election day. I still want to use my mail-in ballot. I don't want to go wait in line and vote in person. I can still fill out my mail-in ballot. I just can't put it in my mailbox anymore. If it's election day, or if it's late Monday evening, the day before election day, and mail pickup has already happened, you've missed that cutoff time. You didn't get that November 7th postmark. And so if you put it in your mailbox in the regular mail system, it won't be counted. And so you need to make sure if you miss that mark, you've got to return it to a Dropbox location. Now, maybe you don't want to vote by mail. Maybe you want to vote early in person. They'll have information on that. Looks like you can vote early in person at the San Juan County Administration Building. It's probably similar for other counties. Let's see, vote on election day. So if I want to vote on election day, below are other voting locations in San Juan County that you may use regardless of where you reside within the county. So Montezuma Creek will have a place to vote. Monticello will have a place to vote. These are all at the clerk's office there in Monticello. I don't know, they've listed it 3 times. Navajo Mountain will have a place to vote. Right here in Monument Valley at the Senior Center, you'll have a place to vote. That Senior Center, I believe, is at the Visitor Center just across the highway here. It looks like Blanding City Office. You may vote there. And not sure what that is. Unassigned poll address. But anywho's, when you put in your address, how can I vote? These are the ways you can vote. Vote by mail, vote early in person, or vote on election day. Okay. And remember, if you have that vote by mail ballot, take it to the ballot drop box. If you missed the mail pickup on Monday the 7th, you can't put it in the mailbox anymore. You got to drop it off in person at any of those ballot drop places or poll locations. Let's go back out to the front here. We'll skip this tab for now. Learn about candidates and issues. So we can open that up. Again, it's going to ask for your address. And this will show you everybody who's going to be on your ballot and any amendments or whatever's that may appear on your ballot there. And so those are things that you can look at. Let's look at the U.S. Senate race here. We've got Evan McMullen. No profile. Tisk tisk. Missed the deadline. Got James Hansen. Very handsome looking fellow. Teacher. What? Wants a government that is less violent and, criminal justice reform, letting adults choose to live their own life. Pro-choice. Supports the environment and Bears Ears and the Indigenous Tribal Coalition. Wow. Sounds like a cool guy. We got Mike Lee. We all know Mr. Lee quite well after having him as a senator for 12 years. He does have a profile here. It's pretty nondescript. It's kind of spinning. The internet down here is not the greatest. There we go. There's Mike Lee. Blah, blah, blah. Lee for Senate. Lee for Senate. Boo. He likes to send weapons to Israel. Did you know that? Sponsored the bill that sends billions of dollars of weapons to Israel every year. And then Israel, if you follow the news at all, is running a oppressive regime against the Palestinian people living there in Gaza and surrounding areas. We got Tommy Williams. Whoa, no profile. Dang, man, it's free publicity. Gotta take advantage of it. We got Mr. Hamblin here. I'm liking his tie. It's got a very Southwest vibe. He looks like a real cool guy. But I invite you to get on here and read through all this and learn more about Mr. Hamblin. Abraham Korb and Michael Seguin did not submit profiles, sadly. But you can look at your other races and anyone who took advantage of this. You can read what they've written there, maybe see their website, go onto their website and learn more. You know, it's important to make sure you're voting for people who match your values and ideals. Which is why I ran for office, because who could match my values and ideals better than myself, right? Anywho's, so let's go back out to say, let's say I need to update my registration because I've moved this summer. I do have a valid driver's license. Does the address in your valid driver's license match your current address? No. Okay, so if I want to register using the system, I have to update my address with the driver's license people first. So they're real great. They've got a link here that you can follow. So let's change my address. Okay. Now this is the part where I'm not going to record because there's some pretty sensitive information there. But you'd fill all this in, you'd get the change of address, and then that would open it in a new tab. Then you would go back to, we'll just open a new tab, Vote.Utah.Gov. And it's only recording in this screen. Okay. So we would go back to Vote.Utah.Gov. And once we have updated our address with the driver's license division, we can update our voter registration and update where our mail-in ballot is going. Because right now my mail-in ballot is going to my old address, which is not where I live. And you've got to update this 11 days before election. So, it's before Halloween. 8, 9, 10, probably around like the 29th or the 28th of October would be the last day to update your mail-in ballot address and still receive a ballot by mail. So, the sooner you do that, the better. It is 40 days till election day today. So, Utahns, go to Vote.Utah.Gov, read about your candidates, read about any proposals that are going to be on the ballot in your area. Look at where you're going to vote. Make a plan. By the way, the most effective thing politicians can do to get people to come out and vote is to help them make a plan. What is election day going to look like for you? Are you voting by mail before election day? Are you planning to vote in person or vote early in person? Where are you going to go? What time are you going to go? Who's going to be watching your kids or your pets? How are you going to get there? You've got to make a plan. And so the number one thing to increase voter turnout is to help voters make a plan, which is why I made this video. If you need help making your plan, go to Vote.Utah.Gov, look at where you can vote, how you can vote, and make a plan for you. How am I going to vote? Talk to the people in your household. Talk to the people in your neighborhood and at work. Hey, are you registered to vote? Is your mail ballot coming to the right address? Have you moved since the last election? Do you need to update your information? Those kinds of things. And the more voices that are heard, the better. And ultimately, it's one of the things that motivated me to run for office, because I believe I'm advocating for important policies. And as I've gone around the state, lots of people have told me they wouldn't be voting on the U.S. Senate race this fall if I wasn't on the ballot, from across the political spectrum. And the more voices we engage in the democratic process, the better. It'll help our government be kinder, more representative of the people, and so make a plan, figure out how you're going to vote, where you're going to vote, when you're going to vote, and make it happen, Utah. Make sure your vote is heard. Thank you. Have a great evening.